You want to be unstoppable, you have big goals, sharp ambition, and deep down you know you were built for more. But here's the truth, ambition without discipline is just frustration. It's not that you're incapable, it's that no one ever taught you how to rewire your habits to match the size of your dreams. When I was younger, every summer break I would make these grand promises to myself. Read more books, train harder, become sharper. But every single time I would fall back to the same lazy routines. Junk food, zero structure, just wasting time. And by the end of the summer break, I wasn't even just the same person. I was in fact worse. I would feel like a fraud returning to school, anxious and full of guilt for all the potential that I'd wasted. That version of me no longer exists. Today I lift weights 6 days a week and train martial arts. I have ranked at the top of several engineering programs and built a software engineering career in elite tech companies. And this transformation didn't come from motivation, it came from mastering discipline. This video is about the exact transformation that I went through. I'll give you 4 fundamental principles that will make inconsistency nearly impossible. If you apply them, they won't just help you be productive, they will rebuild your identity from the ground up. So let's get right into it. I used to burn through 90% of my day without doing anything meaningful. And guess what? I didn't even feel bad about that. Because everyone around me was doing the same thing. Until one day I came to this realization that this is not normal. Time isn't disposable. It is in fact the most powerful tool that you will ever have. Think about this for a moment. In just 1 month, you get 500 plus waking hours. What if instead of bleeding out those hours on distractions, you instead spend them on sharpening your skills? 500 hours of learning Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. 500 hours of reading and building a business. These 500 hours are not going to lead to just a small improvement. They are going to rebuild your entire identity. And that's just 1 month. Imagine compounding that for over a year, or even 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Who would you become if you did not waste your time for the next 10 years? The honest answer is you wouldn't even be able to recognize yourself. Discipline with time turns ordinary people into high performers. It is your real life superpower. Most of your friends aren't just wasting their life, they are wasting yours too. They are pulling you down with them. They normalize wasting time, they mock discipline, and they make mediocrity seem like it's no big deal. When I finally started treating my time like it was valuable, like it was essentially gold to me, that is when I had to cut out 90% of people in my life. All these aimless hangouts, these gaming marathons, these chill sessions, they had to go. I only kept people who were moving in the same direction as me and who were as passionate about being disciplined and productive as me. One of my coaching clients, let's just call him James, he was stuck. He had dropped out of university, he was anxious, he was smoking weed, and he was pretty much wasting his life. And even though he had made several improvements, his routine was better, his sleep was better, but his overall progress continued to be very slow. That is until I inquired about his so-called friends. Turned out that most of his friend circle consisted of people who were just addicted to short-term pleasures and addicted to hard drugs. Naturally, I asked him to cut them off, and there was a bit of a back and forth. He didn't want to. Understandably so, he had been friends with those people for 10 plus years. Eventually we agreed on a 1-month detox. No interaction with any of his friends for just 1 month. And you know what the result of this was? He re-enrolled in university, started studying for 3-4 hours a day, got back in the gym, started doing well in his assignments. His relationship with his parents became better. By the end of that 1 month, he said something very powerful. The man that I have now become doesn't want to interact with those people. The lesson here is the current version of you is not going to be comfortable letting go of these people. But the version of you that you become once you let go of them, that version of you will never want to associate with those people again. Even if you respect your time and surround yourself with winners, there is still one major threat: your habits. You might be alone and focused, but if you're still stuck in loops of instant pleasure, then your progress is still going to stall. I want you to make 2 lists. On list 1, note down all the cheap pleasures that you have in life. This could be scrolling, fast food, porn, video games, weed. On list 2, I want you to note down things that you consider productive. This could be working out, working on your business, reading, journaling. Your goal starting today is to build a life around list 2 and cut the first instant pleasure list like it's poison, because these are the quick dopamine hits that are numbing you into laziness, and the more you indulge in them, the less urgency you feel to build a better life. But this is easier said than done. At first, you wouldn't want to do anything on your productivity list because you're simply not used to doing productive things. But if you turn this productive list into a routine instead, meaning you do the same things at the same time every single day, they are going to begin to feel automatic. That's because your brain adapts. Discipline now stops being a fight and starts being your second nature instead. If routines have failed you in the past, I promise you the problem isn't the routine, it's the way that you have designed it. You need a structure that's not only functional and productive, but also enjoyable. I have a few videos on routine design. Make sure that you watch them after this video. You're also going to come to the realization that you just can't stop doing things on this instant pleasure list. Here's one thing that you should definitely try. Make a set of rules for your personal life. And these rules are designed to protect you from falling back into instant pleasures. For example, one of the rules that I have is that I don't have any social media apps on my phone, and this rule prevents me from doom scrolling. Now you need to identify the triggers for each of your toxic behaviors, and then you need to design rules that will stop you from falling into these toxic behaviors. Discipline isn't just about doing the right thing. It's about clearly understanding what exactly is at stake. Human behavior is driven by two forces: pain and pleasure, and you need both to be disciplined. I want you to first design your personal hell. Ask yourself this question: if I don't change my life the way that I currently live it for the next 5 years, how is it going to look? And be very specific with that answer. Like, here are a few things that I wrote. How could the woman of my dreams respect me if I couldn't control my urges to eat fast food? How would I feel on my deathbed knowing that I wasted my potential on comfort? When your personal hell is painful and clear to you, then discipline becomes easy. You now know exactly what you're running away from. Now you need to do the exact opposite. You need to flip the script. You need to design your personal heaven. Write down what your dream life looks like if you show up for yourself every single day. You're jacked, you're sharp-minded, you're respected, your family appreciates you, they look up to you. You have now built a life that actually excites you. And sure, your version of heaven could be a bit more materialistic, like you want to make X amount of money or own these many properties or drive that particular car. That is fine too, at least initially. Whatever truly pulls you forward, own it. Visualize it, because this is going to be your fuel. Now that you understand how to build the structure for discipline, the next thing you need to do is to eliminate the excuses that are still holding you back. So make sure that you watch this video to learn how to do just that.